What is up everyone, and welcome to an unboxing and test video for yet another N64 console. But today is going to be a little bit different. So, this package is from Will. As you guys know, Will, TheTechPlank, great guy. He posted a video about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, where he dug out some retro consoles and tested them. And in that video, he showed very briefly an N64 that he tested to be working, and he said that he was looking to sell the majority of the stuff that he was testing in the video. So, I contacted Will asking how much he wanted for the Nintendo 64, and I'll talk about why I'm gathering so many Nintendos a little bit later on in the video. So I messaged Will, and it turns out that I actually had something that he desired in return. So we've done a straight swap, and the funny thing is, over the Christmas period, we were both so slow at posting the two items, the N64 that he was sending to me and the item that I'm sending to him. I'm not going to say what it is, just in case he wants to keep it as a surprise or whatever. I, don't want to ruin anyone else's thunder. But yeah, I'm sending him a pretty cool item, and he sent me this in return. But like I was saying, the funny thing is, because we've been so slow over the Christmas period, it's only now we're getting around to it on January 12th or whatever it is, and I said that I'd race him to the unboxing video. This arrived because Will sent it parcel force 24 hours, and I'm sending mine via Hermes, and it hasn't even been collected yet. So we both... I booked the courier yesterday, but he actually sent his out yesterday. So he has, in a way, helped me to win that race. So I know for a fact that it's Thursday today, and I'm going to get this video out tomorrow on Friday. But I may wait and upload it next week just to make it a little bit more fair. But anyway, all talking aside, I'm going to dig into this. So as usual, big thanks to Will, and we've done a pretty cool swap. So it's always nice swapping this stuff around. I believe Will has a Nintendo 64 of his own, and of course, no real need for a second one. If you haven't got a devoted interest in something, to the extreme, there's no point in owning more than one. And the item that I have sent him is something that is, Will's area of expertise. So, oh god, here we go. I'm just going to put this in frame, folks. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Will is always around to brighten your day, folks. And he did mention that he'd put a little bit of something else in the package as well, so yeah, thumbs up to Will there. Nice one. In fact, I'm going to show that one more time. It just needs no introduction. Okay. So in this video we're going to be unboxing it, testing it, blah blah blah, trying to get back into serious mode. First things first, we have the RF modulator and the coaxial aerial lead that goes with the Nintendo 64. For you Americans out there, this is what we received with our Nintendo 64s in the UK instead of an AV cable. So yeah, I guess that was what Nintendo thought of the capabilities of the televisions that most people owned in the mid to late 90s in the UK. Which is pretty much a fair assumption, because I knew a lot of people around that time that still had tellies that weren't capable of composite input or SCART input or anything like that. So here we have the power adapter, which is always a handy thing to have, so that you can actually power on the system. Lovely jubbly. Good wrapping from Will, as always. And I mean package wrapping, obviously, not wrapping. Although you never can tell with Will, you don't know what he's going to do next. Nice lot of bubble wrap, keeping all this safe. Nice lot of packaging that I can reuse. So, for a bundle like this, the handy thing is for me that I get a couple of extra controllers and things like that I can do as I please with, and another console, and little accessories. Like for instance, we have an official Nintendo 64 rumble pack, which is not to be sniffed at. These are absolutely great, no batteries, so nothing to leak. It's nice to have the official ones because they've got the logo, they just look great and they work great. You get a really nice rumble from a proper N64 rumble pack. More packaging, and yeah, I think we're into pretty much the controllers now, if I'm correct. So, here we are with the first controller. This is a grey one, a normal grey controller. Gosh, I made a big deal out of that, folks. So here we have a normal grey Nintendo 64 controller. A little bit grubby, could do with a bit of a clean, but that is what I really do enjoy about this type of thing as well, giving things a good clean. Analog stick feels within probably what I would say a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best, well, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. I'd say this is a good solid 8. Maybe even 9. As you can see, really good rebound on the stick there. And if a few of you are confused at why I'm doing this, Nintendo 64 analog sticks are very, very prone to wear and tear. And I believe on the blue controller, Will mentioned that that was a little bit worse. So I may even be able to show you a comparison here. So let's get the blue controller out. Now, an exciting thing about this one is I have never owned a blue Nintendo 64 controller before. Well, not a solid blue one anyway. So here we have the blue one, and yeah, that stick isn't bad either. I was expecting worse. That stick is also feeling quite good. I'd call this a 7, a generous 7. Yeah, nice. So that's feeling good. Really, really not that bad at all. Because it was really difficult trying to... I was going to go through with the swap anyway, but trying over camera, you know, me and Will were talking on Skype or whatever we were talking on at the time, trying to see what the condition of the stick was like is, you know, really difficult over pictures and even video. So, yeah, really, really pleased with the way the condition of the stick has turned out on both controllers. And of course, last but not least, we do have the console itself. Now, I swear that there was a memory card in the back of one of these controllers when Will was demoing this on video, but there doesn't appear to be, or maybe I'm thinking of something totally different, because I go through a lot of N64, I look at a lot of N64 stuff online, so yeah, let's get the box out of the way. It's probably just me getting confused with another bundle, but here we have the system, which I believe, if I remember correctly, Will said was in really, really nice condition. So let's take a little look. We've got... What is that? I can smell like WD-40 on the front of this. And can you guys... Hang on a second. Can you guys see that? Let's take a look. There we go. There we go, yeah. As you guys can see, there's some residue on the front of the console. And it does indeed smell like oil. So that is interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Obviously, I'll give this a clean up anyway, but what I reckon it probably is the bubble wrap that Will has used to wrap this has been used to wrap something a little bit oily, maybe. I'm not too sure. The whole console is feeling a bit slippery, but again, that may not be oil. That could just be a cleaning product that Will has used to clean this up for me, and it's left some residue while it's been starved of air in the bubble wrap. So that could also be what that is, but it's on the controller ports and everything, so... yeah, quite intriguing. But apart from that, the condition of the console is looking really, really nice. As you can see, a bit oily back there as well. Oil there. Oh, you know, I'm calling it oil, but I don't know what it is. It's a bit oily there. Kind of strange, really. It's slippery, but hey, it's clean and it's in good condition. Buttons feel really nice. It's still got both the flaps. So that one over the expansion bay cover and that one on the bottom. So yeah. Let's bring everything into frame and I will discuss why I'm getting so much N64 goodness in. So here we have everything laid out in the frame here that Will sent me. So I'd like to say yet another massive thank you to Will. This is a really, real good deal, nice swap. No money was exchanged here. And I'm very pleased with what I've received, and hopefully he will be very pleased with what he has received. So we've got the console, 2 controllers, both cables, and the rumble pack. And since recording the last clip, I have realised that the whole memory card thing I was on about was just my brain completely farting, because that was a totally different bundle I was looking at on eBay. Now, that does sort of segue into the next point, and that is, why am I dealing with so much N64 stuff at the moment? So as you guys know, I've recently bought that Japanese N64. That is purely mine because I've always wanted one. That doesn't come into the equation. So that is totally separate and just a coincidence, really. But you may notice that I have said, I can't even remember if I've said in vlogs or whatever, and this now, and a lot of general N64 coverage, I am basically trying to gather together a lot of different N64 bits and bobs. That includes everything N64 related, so consoles, controllers, games, accessories, cables, whatever. Because, as you guys know, back in sort of 2010, 2011, I used to deal a lot in retro consoles. I used to go to car boot sales, find really good deals, and then test them out on the channel, show them on the channel a little bit, maybe even keep them for a little bit, and then flog them on eBay. And back then I was using my parents' eBay account, and I sold countless systems when I was younger. And then when I joined the band and stuff, and when my life sort of turned a corner in late 2012, 2013 and 2014, when I was going through all sorts of different stages, I kind of really neglected the urge within to buy and sell retro consoles. Now that I've decided to come back to it and start looking at this stuff again within 2015, a lot has changed in the space of 4 years. And, well, 5 years really, I guess. Things have shot up in value, which is good, because you get more money for the stuff you sell on eBay, right? But it's mainly a bad thing because so many people are after this stuff now that there is just none of this crap in the wild. And it's so disheartening when you go around and look. For those of you who don't know, my parents are quirky antiques dealers. They deal in all awesome, quirky, wicked, just nice antiques, just awesome stuff. If I remember, I'll put a link down in the video description. And my dad is always keeping his eyes peeled for this kind of stuff for me, and he rarely sees it, and they go to so many places where this type of thing used to be. So I am trying to gather together N64 stuff, to give myself the best collection, because I really do want to get my collection up to scratch and have, you know, a brilliant time with the console that I love the most, my favourite console of all time. However, I am looking to build up a collection of stuff to sell as well. So it's going relatively well. There was an N64 that he bought recently for me, console only I believe, but that was relatively cheap and that works. And now I've got this one from Will. So I'm building stuff up slowly but surely. And yeah, that kind of makes me want to say, if anybody has any gaming stuff that they want to get rid of, but more specifically just N64 stuff really, then please let me know. I have cash waiting, I have a budget waiting to buy your N64 stuff, and I'm willing to give you a very, very fair price for that stuff, because I want to mix and match bundles up anyway to sell. So there's the N64 from Will. All rambling aside, let's go and test it out. So we're not dragging the TV out for this today. I'm just going to use the little setup that I have here on my desk, which is a less than ideal setup, but it is fairly functional for now in this temporary state. And that is my N64 sitting here with a computer monitor and using a VGA adapter. I don't recommend doing it, folks. It doesn't look the greatest, but it is what it is. So I'm going to move my controller and my console to the side. As you can see, I'm using a green controller at the moment. I can't exactly remember where I picked up the green controller, but it has a very nice feeling stick. It's not the tightest stick that I've got, but it's got that right balance between tightness and smoothness that it's just really nice to use. So I put my console to the side, my custom painted white one, which will be a staple N64 that I'm keeping, of course. It is my original N64, but custom painted. I believe it is anyway. Unfortunately, I can't actually guarantee that to a sort of I'd put money on it level, because I lost track of things quite quickly when I had so many consoles. But yeah, that'll be a staple and that'll go in my office. And check out the next vlog that I upload to the vlog channel. Maybe I've uploaded it already, depending on YouTube time travel, because I show basically the N64 setup that I'm going to be having in my living room in the new house, which is very exciting. So there's Will's console with the blue controller plugged in, and I thought today we'd do something a little different, because I've been doing so much N64 coverage. I bet everyone is sick of seeing Mario 64 boot up a million times over, so I thought we'd check out some different games. A game that is very, very good and underrated on the system, and that is the N64's version of Quake 2. And damn it, does this require the expansion pack? I don't think it does. Let's pop that in and give it a whirl. Let's turn on the monitor. Now, I'm not going to blast the audio, folks, and I am going to talk a little bit more quiet because my little boy's asleep in the bedroom next door, so I don't want to wake him up with crazy Quake 2 sound effects while he's having his morning nap. So I'll just turn on the speakers and we'll boot this up and see what it does. So 3, 2, 1, go. There we have it, folks. There we have it. So it's booted up. Looks like it'll run without the expansion, which is great. So here we have Quake 2. Let's go into it and give it a whirl, I guess. Controller's feeling really nice. So this game will look familiar to lots of you. And check that out, folks. Loading on the N64. That is not something that you see every day. So unfortunately, I've got to stand up to play because I can't actually see anything at the moment. There we go. That's better. The reflections coming from outside were making it near impossible to see. Okay, so controller's feeling great. Console is obviously working, whoa, really well. Controls aren't set up how I'm used to, they're actually inverted. I don't play like that on the N64. So if you guys own N64s and you've shied away from buying Quake 2 or Quake 1 or Doom 64, they're definitely worth checking out. Maybe Quake 1 not so much, but Quake 2 is such a good version, and Doom 64 is its own game, so they're really worth trying out. So I'm just faffing around here, folks. As you can see, console is working really well. Yeah, no complaints at all, really. Everything is going really smoothly. Now, I do have another game sitting here. I'm playing at such an awkward angle to try and see the screen, folks. What it is during the day, it's so bright outside that it reflects off the van outside, the sunlight does, and makes this monitor practically impossible to see. But yeah, here we have it. Working absolutely great. So what I'm going to do now is swap the controller to the grey controller and test out a different game. So I've swapped controllers. I'm now using the grey one, and we're going to turn on the console. We're not going to be testing the Rumble Pack because I don't have any batteries for it to hand. Okay, folks, one thing I need to do is go through and clean all my games. So, this is 1080 snowboarding loading up. A game that hasn't aged brilliantly, but it'll always have a special place in my heart. Interesting, it says no controller connected. But there is a controller connected. I've got the grey one connected. Come on. Interesting. Let's try reset the console a second. Might just be a small blip. No controller. Interesting, okay. Let's plug in the blue one. So the blue controller is recognised by the console. Apologies if there's been focusing issues, guys. But for some reason, I can't get the grey controller to work. Let's have a look. So I'm not getting anything from the grey controller. Try one more time, resetting. Nope, no controller. Strange. I've never come across that before. With all the controllers I have, I've never come across that. So there is definitely something weird going on there, but not something that I'm too concerned about, because I'll figure it out and it'll be fine. So that is that, everyone. We have the console fully tested and working. Very pleased with that. So again, a big thank you to Will. Huge thank you, buddy. I hope you get plenty of enjoyment out of the package that I've sent you. Hopefully it gets there safe, and I'm looking forward to watching your video. In terms of this controller, not too bothered about it at all. I will take a look at it, but if I can't get it to work for whatever reason, then I do have a perfect plan. And that is, here we have something very special to me. This is my controller that I pretty much played every game with, that I've had for years and years and years and years and years. And check it out, guys. One horrendous loose analog stick, okay? That is me playing through Doom 64, I don't know, 15, 20 times, and playing every single game that I own, basically. That is the state of the analog stick. So if this controller appears to be dead for whatever reason, this is a perfect donor analog stick to bring my yellow controller back to life. So if you guys want to see a video on swapping the analog sticks, let me know, and then I can pop this analog stick into this controller, and I may cover the analog stick repair in the future. Something that I've never done, but something that I do want to give a try. So yeah, this could be a parts donor controller if I can't get it to work, but I'm pretty sure I'll get it to work. It'll simply be a dirty contact or something like that. It will be absolutely fine, so I'll go over everything, give everything a clean, and you may get an update about this system in the future, but yeah, you may not, so whatever. Keep an eye on the vlogs, keep an eye on this channel, keep an eye on everything, including Will's channel, which I will link down below. Check out his video when his package arrives, if he does a video. I'm pretty sure he's going to. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'm gonna say goodbye, although I do feel as if I should stick around on camera and say a few more useful things. I don't have anything more useful to say, unfortunately. So I'll bid you farewell, and I will see you in the next video.